Hi, my name is Moa, and this is my home.
In 2022, I bought this huge overgrown property with a 100-year-old school with 12 rooms and a leaky roof. I'm about to finish the first step of this whole house renovation, which is a guest apartment, so that I can finance further renovations. And right now I'm working on the kitchen for the guest apartment.
Hi.
I've prepared the boards to be glued together. It's going to require a lot of glue, so I better massacre my glue bottle.
This one last plank or board is very uneven, and I can't. And it's going to be the one that's furthest in, where there's going to be a lot of empty space, so I can't push it down by attaching it to the cabinets either. So as far as I can see it, my only choice is to butcher it. So I finished sanding the top. I still have the finest paper to use, but I'm gonna do that once I've oiled everything, because that's part of the oiling process. And well, I made these two templates of the stove and the sink. Here's today's to-do list as well. Yeah, I want to cut them out and adjust. I think the sink is gonna need a lot of adjustment because it's not completely flat on the backside. Okay, so let's finish doing this. This is terrifying. Will this work? Oh! So I've decided that I want to treat the countertop with linseed oil and not the linseed oil wax, because if I don't like it, I can do the wax, but I can't do the opposite. Once you go wax, you can't go back on wood. So I've heated it up so that the oil penetrates. better into the wood, and I will just do one round and then add more where it dries up.
So a few months ago, I started my own mushroom garden using dowels in logs, and then I made a reel about it and shared it, and the company where I bought them from also sent me these so I could start growing mushrooms indoors, so I didn't have to wait for the logs to fruit, because that might take a year, even two. So I tried to use one of them, and here is the result. It did take me some time before I started to water it like I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to spray it like twice a day, which I didn't, so there's only this, but there might grow some more. I will use these for a noodle salad that I will make. Here are my chosen ingredients. We have sugar snaps, cauliflower, mango, onions, pepper, chili, Thai basil, mint, and coriander. Noodles, not the right type, but this is what I have. And for sauce, we have lime, Japanese soy sauce, and sesame seeds, and vegetable oil.
So now I'm gonna activate the next mushroom house. And here we have straw pellets and the mycelium. You start with crushing this into smaller bits without opening the bag, which is hard because it's very airtight. I suppose it's so that you don't open it and get unnecessary bacteria in there that can ruin the mycelium, but you still need to spread the stuff easily once you throw it into the bag. Ta-da! Place it up here. Blah, 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 blah. There we go. Then you leave it for a few weeks. Then you open some of these stores and cut a hole through the plastic where there are where you can see the most growth of mycelium. And then you keep spraying those two openings. You wanted to leave it like, if you open this one, you should open this one, so it's like across for some reason. And then you spray them twice a day, which I only did the last week of that house, but I still managed to get a good yield. I will do better with this one. I need to make holes for the electrics in these cabinets. I need a dishwasher, a fridge, here's going to be a small oven, and on top a stove. I am reinforcing the backs here with this piece here and a similar piece there. And I've also made this wall a bit, the back a little bit thicker, glued a thin piece, a leftover piece of wood, so that this width is wide enough to fit these. That's it. I have finished painting the cabinet. And now, well, once the paint is dry, I can start to scrape off the paint from the glass panes. And I will show you some hardware that I bought for the cabinet. Remember that I filled in the old keyhole here and here. That's because I found two small little I'll show you. So first off, I have some new paint. So I bought new paint to mix together with the red, so I don't get that cold pink color. So I'm hoping this will change that. Here we have the small handle for the doors. And this is for the kitchen cabinets, the doors that I'm going to make soon. I managed to find the perfect color. It took me an hour of mixing, but I went really slowly, starting with white and then added the red, which turned into this bubblegum pink, but only a little bit. And then I also added some brown and some red ochre, but that wasn't enough, so I had to go to the garage and find the ochre paint as well. So it wasn't until I started to add yellow that I managed to find the perfect color. And I don't know if you can see the difference here. This is the new paint and this is the old. It's if I call this bubblegum pink, I will call this muted, in Sweden we call it old beige, and no, old pink, gammal rosa, but that would translate to old-fashioned pink, which I don't think makes any sense in English, but let's call it muted beige pink.